I'm Emma Curtin, host of a new true crime podcast called Murder Archives. It's set in Toorak in 1929 about the murder of Norma Reese McLeod. Search for Murder Archives where you're listening right now.
I was in the chemist the other day. I don't know why I go to the chemist a lot. I mean, I've had shingles and stuff, but I know I've got a great local chemist.
Are you getting to the point where you're enjoying going there?
Yeah, I know all the women, and they come to the comedy night that I do, and George comes. George is great. George is the classic Greek chemist, but he's very good at analysing you on the spot.
So he knows what he's dealing with.
Yeah, he's good. He said, I said to him once, I've got a cold. He goes, you haven't got a cold, you've got hay fever. I said, I've never had hay fever. He goes, you've got hay fever. I guarantee it. And it was. So he's an older health professional. You know, I'm a big fan of the older health professional.
See, I don't like the opposite when you have to tell a young girl your intimate problems.
Yeah.
See, I've got a rash on the groin and I need the antifungal cream.
I'm at the point where I announce it really loudly when I walk in. I walked in today and said, I need some more more cream for that rash, thanks, girls.
Got to say that fungal cream is good though.
Oh, I've used fungal cream
recently.
recently.
It worked overnight.
It's pretty good fungal cream for jock itch.
Yeah,
as it's called. But there is a new woman working there, and she asked me the other day, do your kids go to a normal school or do they go to a special school for children of celebrities?
And you went, let me tell you.
Can you imagine? Yeah, I said no. It's Jamie Jury does the plants at the Fate, and we've got Shelley Craft. And
and we have a celebrity chef in there every day. And
Matt Preston's there with his kids, and Gary, George Calombaris. No, it's a normal school. I don't know if those schools exist. Maybe they exist in Hollywood. Maybe they. Well, I suppose there's certain private schools which attract, well-paid celebrities, but not me. So
I know that
question.
In the US, I went to a supermarket and all the celebrities who shopped at that supermarket had their picture up on the wall.
Really?
Yeah, and they were sort of like old people from the 50s and 60s, black and white 10x8s.
Oh, fantastic.
A bit sad, but you kind of go, okay, that's pretty cool.
There used to be a pizza shop in Karl where the guy would always get a photo with, the celebrity. And Michael Veitch was up there. Yeah, but that was about the level. Michael Veitch was the most famous person on the wall. Then you look at other people and go, who's that?
I went to a Greek engagement, a Greek wedding, I think, at a restaurant. A Greek restaurant, and they took a photograph with my girlfriend, and it was one of those ones where she looked great, and I blinked. I had the half blink going on. They put it in the front window. Yeah. Not in the front window.
There's the Corio Roadhouse just outside of Geelong there, which does great jaffles and burgers. And that.
Oh, I know that. On the left as you go out of Geelong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ring road's cut it off now, but the trucks double parked there.
Yeah.
But if you went, I went in and the guy's looking at me, and then you could tell they're having a discussion with some of the other people. Is that guy? Who's that guy? And then he comes over and goes, You're Dave.
Searching.
Yeah, Dave O'Neill. Oh yeah. Can I get a photo with you? And they've got a whole Hughesy's been in there.
Yeah.
They got a whole walls of
Because I went to a restaurant recently and the food wasn't great. In fact, it was pretty poor. And then I had to sign a plate, and then they put the plate up on the wall, and then you're giving this place.
You're endorsing it.
You're endorsing. I mean, then you go, big deal. But but I did sign it as Russell Court. See, Russell Court did anything, he'd be happy with it. A bit of crap on a plate.
Fair to say, you'll never go back to Smorgies again.
No, it's very true.
Smorgies doesn't exist anymore.
Now, did you finish your chemist story?
That was it.
What was it?
Do my kids go to a special school for celebrities?
I apologise. No, that's a good story. Sorry, I didn't laugh enough at the end. Sorry.
No, it's not. It's not a great story. It's just a story.
I have that thing where sometimes people tell me a story and I tune out, and then I laugh at a bit that I think is the end.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been listening, and they go, "That wasn't the funny bit." You go, "Oh no!" He goes, and now I know I'm lost because I haven't heard the first part, and he's about to go to the next part, which is the payoff. And now I'm scared to laugh because it might not be. It's just like,
I tuned out, mate. I wasn't listening. I tune out too, don't worry. I think everyone tunes out.
Everyone tunes out.
Oh.
I think men, okay.
But men also monologue people too. You know those men that monologue you about cricket or helicopters?
Well, I reckon men are often just waiting to do their next little speech. While they're assembling their next little speach, going, you're working on, I can see you're working
on... You're talking
on,
about travel, all right, I'm going to travel. Hang on.
You're putting up a fence, are you? Oh, yeah, here's what you need to do. Oh, you've decided to get, I don't know, some sort of extra heating, ducted heating. Let me tell you all about that. So they're assembling and they're not listening.
No, it's very true.
So I may well be very guilty of doing that on this very podcast.
It's normal behaviour, I think. Oh, there's the music!
Hello and welcome to Somehow Related, and now please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
All right, so
I don't know who chose the music, but I think it's appropriate, don't you? Because often do you think the music has become indicative of this podcast?
Yeah.
I think it has.
For sure it has.
It's like when a name of a program is a pretty stupid name, but because
like Spicks and Specks, for example.
It's
a lyric from the Bee Gees,
but
quite an obscure lyric.
Yeah,
quite an obscure song.
Yeah, like with "Thank God You're Here." That was a working title, and then someone said that's the best thing. Don't change the title. No, we're going.
That is a great title.
Yeah,
because it's also a catchphrase.
Yeah. So then anyway,
don't you love a catchphrase? My daughter was telling me there's a kid at school who says "relax" and he says that's my catchphrase, and I said to her, "That's not his catchphrase. It's just a word." You know? And apparently, when other people say "relax," he goes, "That's my catchphrase." Like, mate, couple of days, that's a catchphrase.
Yeah, but that's why they're making a conscious effort to have a catchphrase.
Oh, there's nothing worse. It's like giving yourself your own nickname.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. It's like when you're young, you also develop a new laugh. You go, "There's how I laugh, but there's my kind of cool laugh."
Yeah.
You know, you develop a cool laugh. Like when you remember when you first learned to sign your name, you used to sign your name a lot on the back of your cover of your exercise book. You go, I reckon that's what it's going to be.
You know what annoys me when I do gigs with footballers and they sign their name and you can't read it.
I know.
Because Kevin Sheedy, the Essendon legend, told me once because he signs his name and you can read it beautifully. He said he tells all the young players you have to sign your name so the kids can read it, and also put your number, your footy number.
But but then again, you're often signing a bit of scrappy paper that's been torn off a menu with an old dodgy bit of biro.
But
I got kids who swam over in the middle of a pool one day with a pen and a bit of paper, and I signed it on the side of a pool. I mean, okay, first world problem, but how long is that bit of paper going to last?
Right. What are they going to do with it?
Yeah,
what are they going to do with it? Well, I've been with someone. Who is it? And he goes, "I don't sign scraps of." Noel Gallagher from Oasis.
Oh, Nolly.
Yeah.
Noel. Yeah.
He wants, and someone asked him he goes, "I don't sign bits of rubbish, mate. You go buy one of my CDs and I'll sign that for you."
Oh, gee, hello.
Yeah. Fair enough, though. Fair enough.
But I don't think it matters, does it really?
No.
Take the time to give it all back. It's all in my book, How to Survive This.
How to Survive Celebrity by Glenn Robbins.
And Noel Gallagher.
Noel.
Is that Gallagher?
He's quite short, yeah. He's a short man. He's not big.
We've had the music, haven't we?
Yeah, so what are our topics? We get topics, they're not related?
Yeah, somehow related. And by the way, you came up with a title for this show and it's very good.
Somehow related?
Yeah, because it covers so many...
It's going to take off.
We did think originally that it might sound like that we were doing our genealogy.
How we're related.
And we're not a bad show, really, because if we go far enough back...
Well, we would be related.
We could go all the way back to how we're related.
To Africa.
And then...
Yeah.
We'd have to go that far back.
Well, we'd go to England probably.
Yeah, I reckon we go to England, and I reckon you were a butcher.
Yeah.
I'm not saying your family was a butcher, and I reckon my family would have been like more like accountant or something.
Yeah, okay, but white collar, white collarish.
Yeah, probably white. Well, probably.
Well, a merchant maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was a butcher, which is a merchant too, but still.
I don't think we knew each other. We probably just had nodding. We'd nod to each other.
Robin's only.
Oh, then again, I couldn't go to the butcher, I could have gone.
You cut a meat.
G'day, Dave. And if you were good, you would have gone out the back to get the meat rather than just getting the one that's out the front. My mum used to say that. We got special meat tonight. Why is that, Mum? Because he went out the back to get it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Mum, it's just other meat out there. It's all meat. It's not special meat.
Don't you love a good butcher?
Can I have this special bit of meat, please? Not the meat that everybody else gets.
Yeah. In my local butcher, Brenta. There's a few butchers, but anyway, this one called Brenta. They're Italian guys, right? And they give out a calendar. They used to give out a calendar at Christmas, but they had 2 calendars.
Oh, so you got a good special one and
there's a rude one, and there's one with just scenes of Italy or Greece or somewhere.
Oh.
But then I heard him say to the apprentice one day, "You gave Mrs. Jones the wrong calendar, you idiot. She's come back and complained."
Oh, no.
They had 2 boxes on them.
What
if they still do it? Anyway, what are our topics?
High visibility clothing and wedding dresses.
I'm obsessed by high vis because I've
got to admit you are. You often talk about high vis. You often, in terms of your comedic sensibility, your cultural take on the world is via high-vis and
well, yeah, it's interesting because, I first came across high-vis when I was in the movie The Nugget because we had to wear high-vis, which was 2001.
Early days for high-vis.
Early days for high-vis because I said to the wardrobe person, well, is this what they wear now on the road? She goes, yeah, they all wear high-vis now. This is coming in. And so we all wore high-vis.
And is the high-vis has something that when you hit it with light, makes it same as what you used to have on your bike, was it? No, hang on.
Reflective light. It's a reflective paint
so there's
material.
Must be something in it.
But as my dad refused to wear it because he was a trades teacher and worked in factories and stuff. And to quote him, he said, his high-vis is going to help me when I fall from a ladder. To be fair, when he did fall from a ladder, you could see him falling with his high-vis on. There goes Kev. Woo!
Where is he now? Right over there.
Because in his days, he would just wear the classic grey dust coat around the factory.
No, not good.
Remember the blue or grey dust coat?
And whenever that guy came around, he probably had a pencil in his top pocket or behind his ear, and you go, this guy.
What are you bloody idiot?
If you put a pencil behind your ear, you just look important, don't you?
Oh, it's a good tip.
Yeah.
The greatest moment was when I went to his retirement party. They told stories about Kev, and he found one of the apprentices had condoms on him, and he brought the kid up the front of the class and showed all the other students the condoms, and he said, "It's just a shame, bloody Steve's parents didn't have these 15 years ago." Hey, got a huge laugh.
He probably brought him out just for the joke. He had the joke all set to go, all prepped.
You did that these days, you'd bloody get sacked, but not the 70s or the 80s. He was treated as a hero for that story. But high-vis, so it's sort of recent. And also, there's different types of high-vis. Have you noticed this? There's like the railway workers wear a different type of high-vis as opposed to construction workers.
Yeah, so if you're trying to avoid someone, you can know I'm avoiding a man that's working on the road. I'm avoiding someone who,
it is a great outfit. If you were on the run these days, in the old days you would dress up as a priest. In movies, they dress up as a priest or, put on the high-vis, I reckon. And
go anywhere.
Go anywhere.
The house to us got robbed. They were in high-vis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, walked down the sideway, pushed the window open, got in. No one said. And I remember seeing a couple of guys wandering around going, well, they must be.
They're workers. They've got the high-vis on.
Yep.
It's the new ticket to anywhere, isn't there? If guys walked in here now, this studio, and were walking around in the high-vis, you just go, oh, they're obviously delivering something or...
Yep. Something like you said before, you put on a white coat or a grey coat. If you've got any sort of uniform, people go, you're fine.
I did that sketch on the Mick Malloy show. I don't know if it's on YouTube, where I dressed up as a security guard in a very nondescript uniform with a hat, and I walked around the streets, and people listened to you.
Oh yeah.
I was telling people to get off the bus stop. Guys, get off the bus stop. And then I would lay down on the bus stop. Classic. I was in the supermarket car park telling people to return their trolleys, and women would go, I still got my shopping in. I'm like, I don't care. Shopping out, trolley back. And they all listened. Classic.
Exploiting the goodness of good
of
good
a uniform. You know who reacted badly to a uniform? This is interesting. Older migrant men. Because obviously they've come from countries where a uniform is pretty full-on.
So they push back.
Oh, man, they get abusive, yeah. Or react, they look like I'm about to arrest them. They look really bad. So I realised don't approach older Italian guys or Greeks because they reacted very badly to a uniform. Probably thought I was a parking officer.
It is interesting though because you just automatically feel more important, don't you? As soon as you put it on.
When was the last time you wore a uniform? You would have worn.
Well, I tell you what, I got to wear a fireman's outfit once.
Stripper.
Yeah. I think I can say every guy looks good in a fireman's outfit.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
There's something about it. You feel fearless, and you look taller, and the red makes you look ready, and the big collars and the.
You ever been to a fire station?
Well, I did a thing for a TV show where I went. They had the artificial fire, and I went into a room that was on fire and did the whole thing. Yeah, it's fantastic. Went up Tonight Live. We did a live cross from the. Did a live cross from the
where they used to do that fire.
Yeah, that was in Melbourne. In Collingwood.
Yeah. They used to have the fire state thing there.
Yeah, and did a really good joke. I said, "Hi Steve, I'm up the top of the cherry picker, and I'm so high I can actually do this." And I reached off camera and grabbed a seagull. And good joke. It wasn't a real
good
seagull.
joke.
Good joke. And
very good joke.
Yeah, and then
who handed you the seagull?
Oh, sleight of hand. I don't know. I just did it.
Really, like a magician.
Got a lot of talents,
Pretty good.
But
we went to one of those fire stations on a tour. And the kids are in kinder. Oh, my son loved it. And then this was at Sunshine, which is in the outer western suburb of Melbourne. And they set fire to a car. Just another normal day at Sunshine.
How much fun's that?
They set fire to a car, and then they had all these rooms where they practice crawling through the.
Yep. Oh, the heat. When you go to a room that's even where it's at, the heat is just it is just incredible. It takes your breath away. Literally, it sucks the oxygen out of you.
Isn't it funny? Because then I did a cross from a fire station in Footscray for the New Year's Eve ABC TV thing. Remember that thing that would come on every year?
Oh, yeah,
and everyone would slag it off. It would just light up the internet.
Yeah.
Well, I was on several of those, and I did crosses. One from the Maribyrnong where I had a shopping trolley. I said, because I was the Melbourne element. They were all up in Sydney. All these people up in Sydney, Adam Hills or whoever was hosting in Sydney. And they crossed to me, and I'm like, I'm down here by the beautiful Maribyrnong, and then crossed to the shopping trolley that I put in the. I had to put a shopping trolley in the river while the security guard was going, well, excuse me, what are you doing? What are you... Mate, it's for TV. Just relax.
I can do anything.
We'll get it out.
On TV. Everything stops for TV.
But then we crossed to the Footscray fire station, and I sat around with these... And they had to keep going off for illegal fireworks. Oh, bloody hell, go. Not illegal fireworks. Drew Street, let's go. Come on, boys. But what made me laugh was that when you walk into the fire station, they have their overalls and boots on the ground like all in place to pull them on really quickly next to the fire trucks, and it looks like they've melted though.
Oh, does it?
Just these overalls and boots on the ground, like someone used to be in those.
Oh, they've kind of I'll be melted into them.
Yeah, right. They were melted on the ground. They're like someone had melted. Anyway, they told me a funny story was that they had their annual Christmas party and they went to see Rodney Roode at the Dragonfly restaurant, which is near the airport in Melbourne. Now, have you ever done a gig there?
I'll tell you a story about that.
Oh, really? Well, okay. Well, I'll tell you this one first.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, so it's a big all-you-can-eat Chinese restaurant where they have entertainment on occasionally. I've done a gig there years ago. And so anyway, they all were going to the Rodney Roode concert, and, it's not a place where you dress up. But they told the guy that they all pick on in the fire station that you had to wear a suit and you had to get there at 8 o'clock. But the concert, Rodney Roode was starting at 7:30. They didn't tell him that. And so, anyway, all these blokes pile in, all the firemen pile in, they've all got shorts and thongs on, and Rodney Roode comes out, hey, go and get fucked. 8 o'clock, the curtain opens up the back, and this guy walks down the aisle in his suit, right? And they had a seat for him at the front. Over here, Stewie. And anyway, Rodney Roode just stopped the gig and went, look at this fucking! Look at that fucking in the suit!
Fantastic.
And he said, and this fireman said, whenever there was a lull in the gig, Rodney Roode would just go back to the suit guy. Anyway, get this suit.
Easy pickings.
Anyway, the Dragonfly, you've done.
Oh no. My story's not as good as that. No, it's just that it's where I learned to say no. As in, they rang me and said, because I was doing the comedy company at the time, rewrote Australian television comedy.
Seminal.
And they rang me and said, will you come and do a gig? And I went, oh, look, I'm not sure. Because I'm doing the comedy company, I'm pretty busy. Are we going to pay you big money? And I said, oh yeah, I know. And
all you can eat smorgasbord, Chinese food. All you can eat Chinese food smorgasbord.
Yeah. And she goes, and then I'll ring you back. Oh no, she rang me back the next day and goes, can you do the gig? And I went, I'm not sure. He goes, well, I need to know now.
Oh.
And I went, oh, okay, no then.
Oh God.
She said, what do you mean no? I said, well, no. If I don't know now and you want to know now, I'm going to say no. And it felt really good because I was, in those days it was like if a gig came in,
you did it.
And you were, And then she said, okay, but I'll give you a limo now. I go, no, hang on, I don't want a limo. I'm saying I don't want to do the gig. Oh, okay then. Okay, bye. I was like, well, that felt good.
The thing is what they always say to me when people like that ring up and they always go, well, we've got no money, but we'll feed you. We'll give you a meal. And I always go, I've got food at home. What I don't have at home is cash. Can you give me some of that? We'll feed you. That happened the other day. We'll feed you and we'll give you free parking. Oh, thanks for that.
I must admit, I have come to your gig in Melbourne.
The Grandview.
The Grandview, and I think I've said, don't worry about paying me. I'll just have a nice meal.
Yeah, have some food.
It makes me very happy. Anyway, so
high vis.
And
wedding dress. Now, you've never been married.
Have you been married?
No, I've had the same partner for almost 30 years, but we never married.
No, I'm sorry.
I proposed in France, as she'll remind, in a department store cafeteria. Very romantic. Well, I had the ring in my pocket, and we went to, like, say, the cafe where that Amelie movie was filmed, which she loves, that Amelie.
Oh, it's a lovely film.
Yeah, it's a great film.
I can't remember anything about it, but it was
funny. It's a good funny.
It was a reader.
Huh?
It was subtitled.
Yeah, she had to read it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of action going on,
You could watch it without, without reading it.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I get it.
Yeah, it's a great movie, but the cafe wasn't that good. I just didn't feel the urge. And so then we went to a department store, like going to the Coles cafeteria in the old days in Paris, though, and I went, "Oh, this will do." I'll give it the ring out. But anyway, we never got married because
she said no.
She said no. She said yes, but then. Look, she was pregnant, and then she's breastfeeding, and then we just got old and went,
Yeah.
And also, her dad was a minister, so she went to a lot of weddings as a kid. So, a bit over weddings, maybe.
She's a bit past it. It's like you said to me, our cat died, and you get the ashes put and leave them on the mantelpiece, and you said to me, we've got our cats, and I've still got them. I'm going, well, that won't happen at my place. Well, we'll actually get around to getting rid of those ashes in a beautiful way, not getting rid of.
Put them out in the garden.
Sprinkle them. Still, I don't even know. I still haven't done it. Still haven't got around to it. Poor old Torty.
Poor old Torty. Yeah. I met Torty. Torty deserves a resting place, but then again, Torty's probably in a warm cupboard somewhere.
They go into a bit too much detail because they go, and we guarantee that the ashes you have got are of your cat. They're not. Yeah,
because they often burn him. I know they cremate him in a group.
Yeah, once a week. So they go, how many dead cats in this week? We've got 12, Terry. We're saying, we've got a couple more coming in. So bung them all in together. Yeah, crank it up. And I just tell them it was theirs, and but they guarantee one fire, one cat.
Yeah,
one fire, one cat.
One fire, one cat.
Because, which I don't. I don't
believe that.
I don't know. Because how are you going to go? You can't.
We've got two lots of. We got Schnoodle, who was my long-term cat from Shed Housing. Schnoodle,
good name.
Schnoodle, who had diabetes, and I had to inject it with insulin twice a day. I lived a long time, Schnoodle, but that Schnoodle died, and then we had Mudgy, which was another cat that died.
Name.
Yeah, Mudgy was crazy though. But Mudgy was a twin to Amelie, who has still got
something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. I'm just whiteboarding this.
When was the last wedding you went to? You reckon?
I went to a wedding once where I'm not trying to make fun of people with a stutter. Okay, but this actually happened. It was on on the back blocks. There's the back of the Gold Coast. There's all those canals.
Yeah.
And we got one of those boats that drive, and the wedding was going to, and the reception was going to be on the boat. So it was hot, it was airless, and he got up to say his vows, and he was going really well because he normally stuttered quite badly, and then he stopped, and we thought, the stutter's got him, and he just keeled over.
He fainted?
Fainted, yeah. He's just gone down like a sack of shit. He's hit the...
Was he the best man or the groom?
That was the groom.
Oh, he's so much pressure on the poor guy.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him. He just said, I woke up, I was having a beautiful dream, and then he got up and someone held him and he finished off the thing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but...
that's full on. Last wedding I went to was Karl Chandler's, friend of the show.
I met his wife. I don't know Karl that well. Karl, if you're listening, but maybe if you redo your vows, maybe next time I'll get invited.
His wedding was great.
Oh, was it?
Oh, it was good fun, but I had to do a gig
that night.
Yeah, well, I had this charity gig.
Right? Gee, you're good.
And it was sort of nearby. It was half an hour.
So you didn't go wedding, gig. Something's got to go. You went, I'll do both. As you do.
Because this woman kept ringing me up and she goes, so-and-so's dropped out and we've got 500 people coming. You're still coming, aren't you? So I didn't have the heart to say.
500?
Yeah, it was a big charity.
Sorry, the charity. I think the wedding. Sorry.
If there were 500 people at Karl's wedding, you would have got an invite.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, I went to Karl's. I saw the vows. I had something to eat. Then I went to the gig and I came back just in time to see them walk out the... And he goes, are you still here? I went, been here all night. Yeah. But he found out the truth.
I think the last wedding I went to was Ed Cavali's wedding.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a few years ago.
That's a few years ago.
Yeah.
Except we couldn't go to the church because Selena was working, so we could only go to the reception. And then some people in Radio World, because it wasn't my fault, then got up on the radio and said, oh, by the way, Glenn Robbins didn't I wasn't happy about that. I said to him, you know what happens, you got to watch out.
Well, I was late to Hughesy's wedding because Kieran was breastfeeding one of our kids, right? And, breastfeeding is I don't know if you know much about breastfeeding, but if the baby's, you got to let the baby feed. You can't just pull the baby off. Well, maybe you can. I don't know.
Sorry?
It took a while. Off the nipple. Because this is how the baby is there.
Right. Yep.
Anyway, and so we run up. It was at Flemington Racecourse, and we run up, and they're doing their vows, but there was no way to get
in there without making it look like
in the garden. It was in the garden.
Yeah.
And so we come up behind them, and everyone's in front of us, and they're standing with their backs to us. She's like, "I can't, mate. Just go over there."
Oh, that's good though. That's a good moment. It's a memorable thing. Yeah, I mean, it's good, but bad, but good.
And then it was reported in the Herald Sun the next day.
Really?
Yes. Well, there were journalists there because his wife's a journo, ex-journo. Anyway, it didn't matter. It's always good to get mentioned, Herald Sun. It's a bit of profile building for Dave O'Neill.
I went to the movies once by myself and someone wrote it up in the paper.
See, that's not fair.
Who was seen at the cinema by himself, poor old Karl couldn't find a friend. Where was Kath? Just going to the cinema.
Imagine if you did a Pee Wee Herman in what happened to him? Remember Pee Wee Herman?
He was masturbating.
But he was in an adult cinema. I mean, give the guy a break. That would have never happened. That was pre-internet. You see, I suppose someone like that, if he was that way inclined.
In other words, he was needing to
release himself.
Attend to himself.
Yeah.
And he couldn't go into. I mean, surely there would be those shops that they have over there.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, but
they have little booths. I've seen them on movies. I saw it on that Amelie movie that we just talked about.
Yeah, but he got anyway.
Anyway, so high vis and a wedding dress.
What else do we know about wedding dresses?
I don't know. But it's interesting. You've never been married. You've never been married because see. At my generation, because I'm, Gen X, when I think of all the people in my street where I live, most of the couples are not married. It's interesting.
Nowadays, they're not.
Yeah, they're all in their 50s and 40s.
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't married. A lot of young hipsters get married these days.
Yeah, that sort of comes back around.
Yeah, and they have photos of them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've been in a couple of long relationships and,
you're never married.
And just...
But after a while, I just think it becomes irrelevant. Because you might as well be married.
I have said that if you're not religious and you're answering to a God and a lawyer, why do you have to?
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess making it public though is appropriate.
And let's face it, if you break up with your partner, she's going to get half, probably more than half.
Yeah,
you're still married.
Cleaners.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were cleaners.
You'll be in a flat
and she took you to the cleaners.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Okay.
I'd be very happy to visit you in your little flat.
Yeah. God.
I'd be the same.
Make your own paradise.
Don't you reckon I don't know, but I know a lot of married men with kids have looked at flats and gone, I could live there, I reckon.
They got the well, I used to drive past one of those caravan parks with the cabins on. And a mate of mine said, I'll be living there one day, and he did. He ended up there, yeah. And then he ended up in another flat, but he did end up there for a short time. And what was sad was it was so crowded with single men, he couldn't get in initially. Yeah. And then he anyway.
There's a shared house near me made up of divorced men. It's like a sitcom. 3 men.
Are they happy?
I don't know. I just heard about it, but I'd love to go and visit. I reckon the furniture would be terrible.
They'd have posters on the wall and probably a pinball machine, and they probably just
nothing in the fridge.
Nothing. Yeah, and clothes.
But they'd all probably have kids, so they'd have to have some bunk beds set up in a room for when the kids stay over.
Maybe that's a new industry there. Because the amount of separation now is just
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
It's amazing we're still together.
Yeah,
me and you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew that. Yeah. I know that in different cultures you wear different colours. See, we're thinking traditional white.
White.
See, now your high vis, high colour.
Oh. Well, so what do the Japanese wear? Red or something? Or
I'm thinking more Eastern. I'm thinking, like Indians and stuff. I know I'm pretty sure they wear red.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some ceremonial. I think in some cultures red is very lucky.
But also, you're not meant to wear red to a wedding, are you? Or,
what do you mean?
Western world, I think red's a bad sign.
Is it?
Isn't it?
Something new? Something that your nan has left for you? Something borrowed?
Something blue.
And it's usually like garters and stuff like that, isn't it? And
I don't know. Weddings, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
I used to work at a reception place. That was my first job ever.
Yeah, right.
Working as a glass collector. Oh, and I always remember that the boss would come at the end of the night. He'd pick up all the biscuits and all the cheese, and fill his mouth with the leftover biscuits and cheese. And then a few little bits and bobs were at the bottom of the bowl, and he'd offer them to me. And he'd go, "Will you offer me biscuit and cheese?"
Well, this guy,
you've been at it.
I was talking to a guy the other day who owned a wedding reception centre in the Dandenongs he owned one for years. Because I'd done a gig there, of course. He goes, I remember you did a gig here. He was at another event. And he goes, I could always tell the ones that would stay together, the ones that would split up.
You could tell straight away.
He reckons he could tell.
Yeah. What was his? Well, there's a thing where they, a psychologist, I figured his name. They do a test and they put you in a room, and they can tell within an hour or something whether you're going to stay together for 2 years or not. You know.
Well, I mean, weddings are great fun, but I reckon they're not that good fun for the couple getting married. There's a lot of pressure and stress, I reckon.
Have you ever been a best man?
Yeah, my twin brother. Yeah, my twin brother Glenn.
Oh, yes. I did one of a friend of mine who's quite successful, and I'd said some home truths about him in the speech, and I think he wanted to kill me.
Oh, really?
I remember him looking at me going, oh, really? I'm going to get you for that. It's like, wasn't this what we meant to do? Make a bit of fun of the...
How is Shane Warne? Is he all right? Wasn't Warney, all right?
No, it wasn't. Okay.
Warney would have a cricketer, surely.
What about famous wedding scenes in movies?
Oh, yeah. Good one. Trying to think
Godfather.
Godfather. Oh, 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
Good movie. Godfather, yeah. The Wedding Crashes.
Yeah.
Funny movie.
Good
Quite
film.
enjoyed that.
Because come on, people probably yelling at the.
No, we've covered it.
You've covered.
My best friend's wedding. By Australian director.
Yep.
Peter Hogan.
Muriel's Wedding.
Ding, ding, ding. Love that movie. Yeah. You know that movie? I heard him the other way. That movie's autobiographical, based on his life. That's based on his sister.
Hogan. What's his name?
PJ Hogan.
PJ Hogan.
Because his dad was a local councillor, a corrupt local councillor who got arrested.
The best stories have veins of truth.
Yeah.
Or big arteries.
So he said his dad, because that is a great movie when they go to the Chinese restaurant and they get everything for free. He said that's what his dad would do.
Because he was a councillor?
Yeah, because he was a local councillor and he was on the take. And he got charged.
Imagine getting your dim sims for free. How good would that be?
Oh, I'd be so fat. I had dim sims yesterday for lunch.
Okay.
All right. We had a bit of thinking music. Bit of wedding music.
I think wedding. Is there anything from? I was thinking from The Godfather.
Oh,
I think they sang a song in The Godfather, which is in Italian. Godfather 1, and I think there's a section about don't marry a barber, because if he gets angry, he will cut your throat, or something like that.
The Graduate, great wedding scene.
Oh, where he taps smacks on the window and he's taking on the position of Christ in the window. That is a good one.
Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. I mean, she was very attractive. Who was the actress again? Who played Mrs. Robinson? Was it Annette Bening? No, it was...
I think that's...
Who played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate? Sam?
Anne Bancroft.
Oh, Anne Bancroft.
Because there is
the best scene in that movie is so when he... spoiler alert, but he goes... It's the daughter of her wedding that he goes to, doesn't he?
Yes.
And bangs on the window.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman,
correct.
It bangs on the window and then interrupts the wedding and runs off with her. Runs off with the bride.
Yeah, fantastic.
But then there's a great scene where they're sitting on a bus and they just look at each other. It's like, what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
That's the best scene in the whole movie. And he talks about plastics. Remember it's the father-in-law? He says you should get into plastics. In the plastics.
I just remember that.
I've got to watch that movie again.
Oh, I've got it on DVD. It's a great one to pull out. It's an absolute classic.
Here's to you.
Have you ever had a Mrs. Robinson moment?
No. Still time.
Don't think I have either.
Even though I'm 53, so Mrs. Robinson would have to be in the 70s now.
Well, I did have, I think I might have told you before, no, it wasn't really Mrs. Robinson. It was, she used to, a friend of my mum's, oh God, here we go. Strap yourself in for this.
Strap yourself in, kids.
A friend of my mum's, they were the first to have a Clark pool. And I used to like to go swimming. So in that holiday period, when you'd finish school, but there weren't holidays, you know that period. Yeah. You wrote a book about it.
Summer of 82.
Yeah. I would get invited around to swim in her pool.
Yeah.
And on this day, she had to swim too. I'm setting up for a good story. It's like a penthouse letter. Anyway.
I thought these letters were fake.
So she says to me, I bet you can't swim between my legs. It's true.
Yeah.
And I said, I bet you, I must have been, I don't know, pretty young. Anyway, so I did. I went down. I must have gone deep enough because I kicked her right in the Clark.
I don't really you reckon that's a Mrs. Robinson moment?
Okay, it's not. But I was trying to think. I was going through the files.
Yeah, that was
in the brain. Going, what is anything intimate happened with an elderly woman?
She was probably 30 too.
She probably was. Yeah. How old would she have been?
Mums would have been 30s probably.
Yeah.
30s.
Anyway.
All right. Well, I think we need the answer, but we haven't. What is our answer? I'm going to say maybe. Oh, you go first.
I'm going to say that someone was at an Indian wedding and saw the outfit and went, look at her standing out from the crowd. We need to wear colours that make us stand out. They were reminded of, because weddings okay.
So that's where they got the idea for high vis from.
Yeah, so she's standing out against everybody else.
Yeah.
So what do? You wear a brightly coloured outfit. So therefore, he's taken the idea of colour and applied it to the body of people who workers that you can see on the side of the road. Okay.
I think there's been high vis. There's been a high vis wedding. Someone had the first high vis wedding where everyone wore high vis.
Oh, okay. But high vis already existed.
Yeah. This is
and
a
they've
recent
gone.
thing.
Okay,
maybe a celebrity had a high vis wedding.
So it's a fun thing.
Yeah, a fun thing.
Or the wedding party, or everyone who came.
Everyone who came was in high vis. It was maybe a mining camp somewhere.
Oh, that's a nice idea. Because I remember the guys who came out of the Tasmanian mine.
Yeah, Brenton.
Did they have high vis?
I auditioned for that movie.
You would have been great.
Yeah, as the role that Shane Jacobson did as Brant and
Todd. Who was the other guy?
Todd.
That was played by the big guy.
Yeah. He plays Kerry Packer sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Got a big loud voice. And he was in Chase for Skase.
Sam. Who was that?
He was in Chase for Skase, and he's done a lot of stuff, hasn't he? And he's in The Hollow Men.
Yeah,
he was in The Hollow Men. He was one of the leads in The Hollow Men. He's a good Australian actor. He got a big booming voice.
He played Kerry Packer. If you put the Kerry Packer story.
Lucky Hume.
Lucky Hume.
Yeah. He's a very good actor. Very strong presence.
In the audition. Sorry,
Sam.
Lucky is a Batman enthusiast.
He's a Batman nut.
He's a Batman nut, like Seinfeld is a Superman nut.
Yeah, he loves Batman. But when I did the audition, how funny is this? So I had to lie on the floor, and the guy, just in an office in South Melbourne.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Pretend you're trapped in the mine.
Yeah,
you're in the mine.
Yeah.
What are you saying? I'm like,
that's not fair.
Get me out of here. Reassure Todd. Don't worry, we're getting out. I saw it on Sunrise.
Oh, that's good. You got to laugh.
Didn't get the part.
It's like the part that I got offered when my agent rang me and goes, you got a part in this new hospital show. I'm going, oh, great. You go, and you've got dialogue, which was a big deal because I was only doing extra work then.
Yeah.
He goes, one other thing, you actually go to hospital with a pot stuck on your head. What? And do I have the pot stuck on my head the whole... Yes, you've got a pot stuck on your head.
So you didn't do it?
I did. Well, I did it.
Oh, you did it?
I did. Of course I did.
It's out there somewhere.
Oh, maybe it was a pilot, but I had to go in for a pot fitting.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I remember thinking, wow, this is showbiz. And they go, okay, it's going to very simple. This goes up and you twist it a bit and you can't get it off.
How big's your head?
I've got a big head.
Oh, you know what? Channel 10 Wardrobes tell me I've got the second biggest head they've ever had. Who's got the biggest?
But you...
Yes! Top of the board.
Easy. Yeah, my head's bigger that way. Yours is probably
you're
bigger.
Long. I got a...
Yeah.
You got a long head.
I got a big head in many ways. Anyway, I did it, and I did all my dialogue like that, and I was never seen. Anyway, that was my first talking gig. Anyway, so
what show was that?
I think it might have been a pilot. It was for a pilot for a hospital show. Anyway, and I think they did it at Crawford's back out in.
Yeah.
Did we give our answers yet?
Yes.
And now we're waiting for...
No, we've given the answer. We're waiting for the answer.
She's been twiddling her thumbs waiting for us to...
Stop talking about Lucky Hume, all right?
Yeah.
What's the answer?
High visibility paint was invented by an American magician named Bob Switzer. Bob was injured at work in the 1930s so badly he fell into a coma. When he regained consciousness, the doctor advised him to stay in dark rooms. For entertainment, he would wave around and experiment with fluorescent materials, eventually creating a fluoro paint company he named Dayglow. Initially, he and his brother used it in their magic show, then started selling the paint to other magicians. The U.S. Army commissioned him to make a high-visibility fabric. In doing so, his wife's wedding dress became the first piece of high-visibility clothing when he covered it in the paint.
Now, hang on a second. Was he expecting a front loader to come through the middle of the wedding, and he wanted her to be seen? So
I think they'd been married. I think it was an old wedding dress. I think that's what happened there, is that Bob was looking around for something to test.
And if it works on a wedding dress, I guess it works anywhere.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Do you reckon you should be happy about that, Mrs. Switzer?
I think there's something going on here. I think there's something sexual going on here with him. I reckon he's enjoying whacking the dress on, and as an excuse, he's going, I'll put the wedding dress on and I'll put some paint on, see if you can see me. You're getting a bet both ways there, buddy.
Yeah. And she goes, have you been wearing my wedding dress at night? No, I saw you. You were glowing in the dark.
You were jumping around the backyard. I could see you. You could not. I could tell you could say.
What a bizarre fact that Mr. Switzer invented high-vis paint and then...
Here's the interesting thing. Why doesn't... Because you get products that are glow in the dark, and they leave them in the light, and then when you put them in a kid's room, and then you turn the lights out, and they stay glowing.
Yeah, like that.
Hey, let's patent this. So if you're wearing a high vis and gets a bit of light on it, why don't they put a bit of glow in the dark on it, so you keep on glowing even though there's not light on you?
Maybe
that's brilliant.
Maybe they do.
What? Have you seen people
glow in the dark?
No, but if you can wear that. If you can have an outfit that would glow in the dark for some time, how long does it glow in the dark last for?
A couple of hours. Yeah.
Oh, let's patent this right now.
We won't be doing the podcast next week. We'll be taking off.
Brilliant. How good is this?
We're the new Bob Switzer.
Because you could actually make prisoners wear glow in the dark.
Yeah.
If they escape, you could see them in the middle of the bush.
Well, you just put a chip on them,
Oh, don't be a spoiler. I'm sure there's a lot more. You can put on animals so animals would stop killing. They'd be seen by the.
Again, you put chips in them. They only put chips in them.
Okay, all right. So maybe it hasn't changed our life. Did I tell you about this guy who went to my cousin lived in Kyneton, and when he was growing up, anytime that there was a wedding, this is a horrible story. Anytime there was a wedding, the local weirdo would, when they all come out and they gather around outside the church and everyone comes forward and kisses the bride and the groom.
Oh, he would turn up to kiss the bride.
He just turned up to kiss the bride. So he's just driving past and going, I'll get a free one here. Just wander in.
And, of course, the bride's such euphoria.
And she's going, must be someone from the other side of the family. And he's just going, how good is this? So, ingenuity. Top marks.
Top marks for that.
Appropriateness, well, yeah, top marks as well.
Let's go find a wedding now.
If you made it this far, check the show notes for more information and other shows on the Nearly Podcast Network.
Hey, Somehow Related is supported by SuperSimpleCards.com, Glenn.
Great cards.
Great cards. You get a pack of greeting cards from Super Simple Cards using the offer code SOMEHOW at the checkout, SuperSimpleCards.com. Get into it.
Get them in a pack.